Battle over Nebraska's first immigration detention center ended today with a victory for Governor Pillen, at least for now.
Our Brenna Kiefner is tracking this developing legal fight, and she joins us live in the newsroom with the latest on this. Brenna?
Brian and Aaron, I've been digging into this lawsuit today. Nebraska Appleseed filed it yesterday on behalf of a former state senator and 13 McCook residents who want to prevent the work ethic camp from being turned into an ICE detention facility. Tonight, the judge denied their request for a temporary restraining order to stop the project. And that means the plans for the facility can move forward while the legal fight plays out. But the fight is centered on this question: who decides how Nebraska's public buildings get used? The McCook work ethic camp can house 200 inmates who would perform jobs throughout the community, from park maintenance to road work and city projects. The facility opened in 2005 and has achieved a 23% recidivism rate, which is better than the state average of about 28%. Governor Pillen plans to transform this rehabilitation facility into what the Trump administration calls the Cornhusker Clink, anticipating to house 300 immigrants who are waiting for deportation. Now, the conversion has been underway since the August announcement, and it should be ready to take those immigrants by November 1st. Nebraska has already committed $750,000 for razor wire installation, but McCook officials are concerned about losing these community services and estimate they'll need $200,000 annually just to hire contractors for the work. The plaintiffs argue only the legislator has the authority to change public building purposes, not the governor. While the judge decided against the temporary order, he did set a hearing for next week to hear some arguments. We'll keep you updated with any further information. In the newsroom, Brenna Kiefner, First Alert 6.
Brenna, thank you for breaking that down. Let's go back now to that town hall